What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live in a living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always tell you to go? DJLittleRock.com. Check availability, get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me at your next event. I would be honored to entertain the people at your event. And you know, I always bend to what you want. I don't play what I want to play. I play what you want to play. I play what you want to hear. If you want me to be a human jukebox, I could do that. Or if you want me to stick to one style or one genre, I can do that as well. I like it. I like music and I like entertaining the people. Yeah, and I'm honored to be at the show. Speaking of being at the show, I have another entertainer on the program, Ronel Williams. I'm excited to talk to this young man. I found him on Facebook. He's on Instagram. He's on YouTube. And the guy, he is very outspoken. So I expect to hear some very outspokenness from Ronel Williams. And you get to hear it in your ears in the next few minutes. So stick around for that. This week's shows, yes, this is the portion of the program where I promote the shows that I'm doing. Upcoming shows, right? Well, due to the novel COVID-19 coronavirus, I have no public shows. I have no private shows. I have podcast after podcast after podcast. I get to talk to interesting people, and you get to benefit by listening to those interesting people. So let's give a chit chat to Ronel Williams. I don't have to do this one on the phone. Thankfully, Ronel is in Little Rock, Arkansas, not too far away. So I'm going to go visit with Ronel Williams at the Ronel Williams compound. Yeah, heading for Little Rock to visit Ronel Williams now. I mean, how did you know you were going to have a recording studio in the middle of your dining room today?
Karaoke in there. So what I know you do a lot.
I'm everywhere, man. I'm everywhere. Wherever they pay me, man.
You're a hired assassin.
You got that right. Hired gun. That'd be the right way. I keep getting paid for stuff.
Man, bro,
come sit over here. We'll talk. Let's put it all on tape, man. Let people know about you.
So are you?
I'm recording it right now, man, and we'll put it on. We'll put it out there to the world probably an hour after I get back. If you want to.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I do a lot in Little Rock. I do a lot everywhere, man.
Bro, I've never.
Okay.
But you're busy.
Yeah.
And I'm everywhere, but I've never seen you, bro.
I've never seen you in person. But you're busy. I see you on video. Crazy, I see you putting it all out there. I love that you got dressed up for this, man. I love your style. It's colorful. Pow. Yeah, you can call me Dan. It's definitely nice working for yourself. And bro, put that video on. Let's go. The man's playing with his phone, and I'm recording right now. Audio is on. Yes, we've been going since I sat down. Hanging out with Ronel Williams. I don't like to edit, so there he is. The man's getting a two-shot on his portable recording studio, which is also known as his phone.
Also my business. So my cell phone is my business. My cell phone is not a celly. It's also a tool. That is how I run my billion-dollar empire, man.
Well, for creators now, at this time when we're all quarantined, supposed to be locked up inside, you know, it's given us a little bit more to create, a little bit. We have to expand our minds. We have to think about things.
So this quarantine is the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Like, to be honest, I had an opportunity to sit down and reset because I work with a group, the only group that I'm really affiliated with, because I am a lone ranger. Like you said, I'm a hired gun. The only people that I'm affiliated with is the Real Underground Radio, also known as A-Team, and that's because that man built his whole empire from the ground up. We went to the same colleges. We didn't go at the same time, but like he just like, he's seen that nobody's giving him opportunities, so he couldn't get on the radio. So what he did, he built his own radio station. Like, he couldn't get, had a hard time getting into recording studios, so he built his own recording studio. So like, I have access to a building. Like, if you're not an artist or a rapper, you can walk into this building and walk out and have everything that you need. CDs pressed, cover shoots, photo shoots, merchandise.
Yeah.
Like, every fucking thing that you need. Like, anybody can walk in there in that building and walk out, whatever you do, and have everything you need. So it's dope.
Ronel Williams, I mean, you're just hitting the nail on the head. I worked terrestrial radio since 1986. I'm 51-year-old man.
Are you?
You know, when I got out of high school.
I was born in 85, bro.
85. Here, I graduated 86. You know,
You graduated in 86?
Absolutely. And when I got out of high school, I figured, well, what do I want to do? And I was playing records all through high school, and I said, let me get on radio. And what I first did was go to WKPX just down the street in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and work radio in the high school. And terrestrial radio on and off. All right, there's only a handful of people that are going to make $1 million on the radio, make any kind of real money on the radio that you can think about. Howard Stern, you can think about Casey Kasem, you can think about Tavis Smiley, you can think about all these people that, okay, those people are probably making bank. But for the most part, we make $10 an hour. Don't make
very money. Like Tom Joyner, for instance, he's called the fly jock. This man used to fly every day because he had a radio show in like Chicago and like a radio show in Atlanta or Houston. I forgot the two locations, but every day he had to fly to go back because he was in the morning in one place and at night in both. People don't realize, like, they don't make a lot of money, man.
Nope.
It's a lot of grind in it.
The way I made money on radio is the notoriety, the popularity, the fame of it. If people wanted me at their events, their weddings, their parties, they wanted me to make an appearance.
You branded
for them.
Yourself.
That's how.
You branded yourself.
Keys Dan has been for a little while. Dancing Danny G was the name I used before that. We'll keep that on the down low.
Wow.
Nobody's listening right now, are they? Oh, shoot. Maybe, possibly, possibly. But Ronel Williams, man, we're talking to you, man. We're talking about who you are, and just give the people a little idea of who you are.
It was funny, man, because I remember, like when I was 17, I was 17, graduated from high school in 2003. My father was in the United States Navy, and he influenced the United States Navy as a radioman and a recruiter. So that's what I wanted to do. I did ROTC. I'm an Eagle Scout. Did ROTC.
Eagle Scout.
Yeah. A lot
what?
of people don't even know that. Yeah.
No, that takes a lot, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I mean, because I made it to Weeblo, and that was it.
Yeah, I did all. I was the first black senior patrol leader of my pack 985, man, in Tidewater District, man.
Pack 576.
Man, get out of here, man. That's crazy.
Down in South Florida,
man. People don't realize, man. Like, I'm part of secret societies that people don't even know about. And
once you're an Eagle Scout, I mean, that's like a forever thing,
man,
right?
It's forever thing.
It's part of you.
Yeah,
it's part of your
Order
psyche.
of the Arrow. There's a lot of secret societies with it. And it's funny because, like, when now this Boy Scout thing came out, and there's like, I don't even tell people I was a Boy Scout, but when it comes up, people's like, did they touch you or were you molested?
My goodness.
I was like, absolutely not. First of all, I was the only black guy in the area. They weren't bothering me. It was like, he looked like he might fucking do something to us. So, they might have been touching the other white kids. I didn't know anything about it. I know one thing. I just went there, learned what I needed to learn, and now I have like life skills. Like, if I get dropped off, like when I fly airplanes, when I'm in an airplane, I think about it all the time. If this plane falls, I know I can survive at least 30 days.
Right. But born and raised in Little Rock?
I was born in Little Rock, man. My dad was in the Navy, so we traveled, man. So I lived in California, I lived in Florida, I lived in Japan. I got most of my education in Virginia Beach, Virginia. So I ended up in Virginia Beach probably like when I was 8, and from like 8 to 18, I was in Virginia Beach, and then from there, I came back home to Little Rock because my parents split up, and my grandma, she was getting old, and I just wanted to be close to her because like I didn't have the opportunity to be around her like the rest of my family. So so I came here, man, and and that's how I ended up here in Little Rock.
Okay, what I'm seeing is a guy that's moving around. He's the new guy a lot. So were you able to change your personality to to fit in, or how was it that you
First of all,
survived as a new guy?
Never fit in. Like from the time that I came to Little Rock, I used to get beat up because like when I came, because like Virginia Beach, I didn't know I was spoiled. Like Virginia Beach, I grew up middle class. I thought I was poor because in the neighborhood that I lived in, like everybody else around us had so much more. And my dad is very minimalistic. Yeah. So my dad does not believe about living beyond his means. So my next door neighbor might have that new Cadillac, but my dad's like, yo, I own my 1984 Celica. Right. I don't have a car note. My insurance is like $50. And I'm saving a hell of a lot more money. You know, my dad would be that nerd that was walking around with a fucking bankroll, but everybody thought that he was a nerd. He was a dork. He just looked like that, but walking around with more money than anybody else in the neighborhood. So I got sidetracked. I don't even know.
No, that's a good value to learn, man, from your dad, to live simply.
So the simplistic living. What the hell were we talking about?
No, we were just talking about where you were from and how you survived and throughout.
No, what was the last question that got me talking about that?
That got you talking about living simply, about your dad?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You said, am I from here? Oh, yeah, so...
Yeah, that you moved around a lot with the Navy dad.
Oh, yeah, so when I came to Little Rock...
to be with your grandma.
To be with my grandma and stuff. Like my mindset, like everybody was pretty much happy there. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't a lot of people. We didn't have a lot of people having a hard life. So when I came to Little Rock, like the first place I was living at was Southwest and in John Barrow, which is an extremely impoverished area. You know, that's part of Little Rock. But I've never seen it as an impoverished part of Little Rock because, like, my family isn't poor. They just own land out here. Yeah. You know, my grandmother bought several properties, like 10 properties, and gave every one of her children a house. And then each one of them purchased their own house. So, like, you know, it's funny because, like, black people are the only people that get upset with other people for having generational wealth. And it shouldn't be like that. That's how it's supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to have a better life than your parents did. Like, that's the American dream. And I do, because my dad worked really hard. He was in the United States Navy, traveled the world, worked hard so I can have a better life than he does. And I do, because all I do is smoke weed every day and I tell jokes.
And you're saying that your people try to stop that? Because I thought that was the general idea, is to make our kids better than us.
People like growing up in different areas, people be like, well, he didn't do that on his own. His dad had money. Or like, you know, he's like, the only reason why he's doing it is because his parents had money. So it's not, they're supposed to. You know what I'm saying?
Right. When mom and dad died, they're going to leave you a little something, hopefully.
That's how it's supposed to happen. But like, you know, for various reasons, and it's not the African American community's fault. It's just the mindset and the programming, and it's the way this country has been set up. It's not set up for, you know, for the African American population to succeed. It really is not. But that's a whole nother topic.
No, you're schooling me, man. We're learning things. Topic. You know, this is your experience. Whatever's on your mind, Ronel Williams, is you.
Man. It's weird, man, because like it's funny because I do live in John Barrow, but my experience in John Barrow is totally different than next corner because their whole household. But the next door neighbor, they have a business. You know, they have a lawn business, 3-story house, but right next to that house is people who don't have electricity. Like right now, as we speak, as I sit in this illuminated room, there is a person that lives 2 blocks away from me that is hungry and don't have lights.
But the underlying that is, you know, your neighbors. Yes. You know who they are. You're able to talk to them.
Absolutely.
And a community like that can help each other in some way.
Like I said, my grandmother owns 10 properties out here.
Yes.
So, like, another reason why I'm not worried about anything, my house is always watched. Like, unbeknownst to me, I actually have a cousin that stays right there. My other cousin lives right there. I can walk to all of my relatives' houses. All of these 9 properties that I described are within walking distance. Like, literally, like, we pretty much own this section of John Barrow.
Yeah, for me, family is very important.
This section of John
It's nice
Barrow.
to have people that are close that, hey, if something goes wrong.
Ludwig, all that stuff. And it's funny because, like, and it's beautiful because, like, this is, like, you know, what they call a, you know, rough area, gangster area, and it's a blessing that, like, I was born into this, you know what I'm saying? So even though I did get beat up, that's because I was walking around and nobody knew who I was. But once they realized, it was like, oh, that's Juan's son. Oh, that's Miss LV's grandson. Like, the people that beat me up, their parents got onto them. And it's like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. Stuff. Because, like, my grandmother is, like, very heavy in this community. My grandmother set up the first athletic programs and stuff like that. Yeah, man. So this area used to actually be called Rock Creek. A lot of people say this is cool. This is a cool history lesson. So what people call John Barrow, the reason why this area is called John Barrow is because there's a white man named John Barrow that donated this land to the city. So all of this part that's called John Barrow, that's just what he gave to the city. So imagine how much wealth this man had, that this is what he just donated to the city. And that's why this place is called John Barrow. And that's why I never say that I'm a John Barrow nigga or like John Barrow, because like I'm not finna pay homage to a white guy that bought this property actually from my ancestors, because like I am of African descent, but I'm also of what I like to call indigenous Americans, or what other people call Native Americans. So I'll never say that I'm gonna go back to Africa, because half of my DNA is here.
Yeah.
Arkansas, all these names in the small county, those are named after Indians, Choctaw Indians. You know, there's several tribes that are here. Like, we were here first. That's why I don't have to fucking leave. This is my inherited land. Like, was given to me by my ancestors.
Ronel Williams, I knew I was going to learn some stuff here.
By my ancestors. And a lot of people don't even know that a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about, because like all they want to do is listen to me, and when I'm talking about ignorant stuff or I'm doing something stupid, but like it's cool because like I'm very, very educated, and I want people to think I'm dumb so people can just underestimate me and let me walk on by, and next thing I'm walking right on by them, walked right and talked to this billionaire and secured myself in a loan or an investment, walking right past everybody else.
Well, Ronel Williams, what I know about you is from your videos, and a lot of times you get on your videos and you like to rant. You like to talk about stuff.
Because I'm frustrated, bro, because I get frustrated with a lot of shit, because like I put so much of my actual heart, blood, sweat, and tears. Like I've stayed up for days planning shows, putting together events, and doing different stuff for the community. Like I don't do this shit for me. Like I was working at Verizon Wireless making $70,000 a year, bro. Like I'm like, I had money. Like I was making good money. I didn't do this shit for the money, yo, but I wasn't happy. Like, you know, when I was working at Verizon and I was their token black Negro, and I was in the top 1% getting numerous awards, and they're flying me out and taking me to these different banquets and stuff. But once I learned that company made it seem like it had upward mobility, it was more like lateral mobility, because like some of the day that I seen that the lady that hired me was doing a job that was beneath me, I was like, oh yeah, I can't do this company no more, because of what's gonna happen to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was burnt after 5 years, so I've done everything that I could do at that level of that company without having to go somewhere else, because I didn't want to go into sales, because I'm really good at sales. I can sell fucking anything. But I have to believe in that product. Yeah. And in Verizon as a whole, which is a good company, but they have some fucking fucked up business tactics. They really do. I could never go into the store and like your grandmother comes in and they're like, yo, you got to meet quota. So now I'm going to sell this 70-year-old lady $800 worth of shit and put her in a contract that she can't get out of. Now her grandchildren have to call in and try to get it resolved. And all weekend. And my job, you know what my job was at Verizon Wireless?
Sales?
No, I was a customer service.
Oh, okay.
So Verizon rams, and excuse my language, rams a dick in the customer's ass, right? My job was to make them feel good about that dick being in. That's basically and that's in a nutshell what my job was.
No lipstick at all?
Man, a little bit of lube. Like, yo, I might be able to take a little bit off this bill, but they taught us what's called positioning. Yeah. And basically, you won't get the same result. Okay, your bill's $50, right? It's $50 overdue. I mean, it's $50 more than what you wanted. My job was to make you feel better about that $50. I'm like, listen, man, I understand. I got bills, because if I got a bill that was $50 more expensive, then I'll be upset too. But this is what we got to do. Sometimes things happen that we don't expect, but that's what that rainy days fund's for. Well, this is what I'm going to guarantee to you, that next month, that bill will not be like that. Just pay this bill this one time, and next month it won't be like that. I just sold you a dream. You hang up the phone. I will never fucking talk to you.
Yeah. So what comes up next month? I bet you that bill's is exactly the same, isn't it?
And more. And I know it.
All right. Shots fired on Verizon. Man, I know. Real, big business, people, man. And you know,
fuck them, bro. Like, listen, I take on any corporation, bro. Like, for real. Like, I'm a comedian, right? I took on the Looney Bin. Like, fuck venues, bro. Yeah. And fuck promoters. Like, real talk. Yeah. Like, for real. Because they fuck us over. Like, that, man, I am so about the artist. And we always get robbed. And that pisses me off. And I have a voice for the artist because not one only am I an artist, I've actually worked as a show producer and produced my own shows. So I've seen everything from all angles.
Yeah.
So there's nothing the only thing that a venue can tell me is about their overhead, like a kitchen, staffing, and shit like that. But like overall, I got a good business mind.
Yeah.
I know how much money you're making. And I know how much you're robbing. Pay your artist, bro. At the end of the day, pay your fucking artist. If you don't pay your fucking artist, bro, I'm fucking you up. Like,
no, Ronel Williams, the comedian,
cap,
is the last truth sayer on the planet right now. Everybody else is all
your
PC,
artist, bro.
and all trying to be tiptoe.
If you say you're gonna pay your artist, pay him what you say. That's one thing about me. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say about Ronel Williams, but nobody can ever say that I owe them money for a show or for anything. I make sure my business is straight. And there's a lot of people out here that put on shows and that do things and they can't say the same thing. And you know why? And that's why you're not succeeding in life, because Little Rock is small. So when you fuck over one artist, they talk, and they're going to tell you, and they're going to tell other people, and people are going to be leery. You know what I'm saying? And you fuck over too many people, and man, you're finished. Like for real. There's not that many venues out here. There's not that many quality artists out here. And there's not that many promote. Like, it's the same handful of people. You know what I'm saying? It's the same handful of people. And if you don't get into promoting, if you can't take $60,000 and watch that bitch burn and walk away from it, don't even fucking get into business, dog, because you're going to lose promoting. It's about longevity. It's not like there's so many people get into entertainment and they're like, it's a good idea. Let me put some money on the show, behind the show, and something doesn't happen right. Maybe they didn't promote it right. Maybe it's a bad day. Yeah. Or, you know what I'm saying? It could be anything can fuck up a show, especially in Little Rock. Rain will fuck up an indoor event. And this is strange. This is an
indoor event.
This is the strangest market I've ever tried to entertain in Arkansas. I've never seen a place where rain will fuck up an indoor event. But anyway, with that being said, people will throw a show and they lose. They're like, fuck it. But bro, like, what you fail to realize is when you hit on those shows, bro, you make a killing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Like, I've invested $100 in a show and made 10 grand.
You got to play the long game.
And made 10 grand.
You can't, or like a comedian going up on stage 100 times. If you bomb 100 times.
If you ain't bombing, you ain't working. And to everybody that laughed at me in Atlanta, when they said that I bombed in Atlanta, y'all didn't even know the story. I was up there. I would tell you, I was fucking arrogant. I had an ego trip. I was in Atlanta. I was smoking weed on stage. They told me to put it out, and I thought I was Dave Chappelle when my name is Ronel Williams. And they cut my microphone, and that's when I started cussing, and that's what went viral.
Well, I liken it to radio, man. If you get fired from a radio station, you're a real broadcaster. You have to bomb, man. It teaches you humility. It teaches you what not to do. It helps you make your craft stronger, to do it right. And Ronel, you've been working at this for a long time.
This is dope. Like what we're doing now, because it's funny, because like when I was a kid, I was in 7th grade. I took tech ed. And radio broadcasting was the first thing that I took, because I was top of my class, so we get to pick what modules we went to do. And I wanted to fuck with the radios and microphones and stuff like that.
Everybody does.
That's
as soon as they get in the station.
Started. But when I first got on the radio, it was in Norfolk State. My dad, we used to call Norfolk State because, universities have their own radio station. Mm-hmm. And I would call in and they would just be talking about random shit. And I would just give my opinion as an 8-year-old, like on the air. And I was like, damn, I'm on the radio and I'm 8. And then from there, like when I got older, I worked with the Real Underground Radio, and that was dope because I had a show with DJ Don D and Tumo King. So we all had a radio show there. And then from there, I got picked up. No, a lot of people don't know this. John Barrell built a brand new community center. Got a $10 million radio station. I had a show on there with this guy named LeBontour. Amazing show. We used to do it every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on Wednesdays. Some people had a pissing competition or something. People in upper management. Now that $10 million radio station is sitting there. You know what they do with that shit? Play fucking bullshit ass music on a loop. There's not a human that's actually in there running that fucking radio station right down the street.
Well, that's what the big business wants, man. They don't want humans in there.
So bad, bro. Like, I live right here and I can walk down the street and I can turn this fucking radio station up.
Yeah.
But they won't let me. And that's another reason why a lot of people don't know. And I'm glad you heard it first. I'm running for politics.
That's great.
If Donald Trump can become our president, there is no problem with me being the mayor. I'm not going to go up against Frank Scott Jr., but there is some positions in Little Rock that I can fucking get, and I can just start off with being the representative for John Barrow Ward 6.
Why not? Ronel Williams. Why not? You have a voice.
I don't have a job.
You have passion.
I don't have a job. I have nothing else to do.
Well, you know what's funny is you say you had a job at Verizon. It's nice to have a steady pay, but it takes a lot of guts, a lot of courage to bet on yourself. And that's what you've done.
But I'm going to tell you, I kind of had it. Okay, so when Verizon was shutting down, right? They was closing down the call center. So they gave me the option to go to another call center or work. Absolutely not working from home. I leave home to go to work, and I leave work to go home. I'm not finna combine those two. Like, you're not finna bring that devil into my household. Like, yo.
Sweet irony that you're saying that right now.
What happens at my house is I smoke weed, okay? And I relax myself. That's what happens. There is no work that's going to be done as somewhere else. I leave that place. So anyway, long story short, I was there for 5 years. So they was like, all right, well, if you just leave the company, we'll give you a, what do you call that shit?
Severance package.
Severance package. I said, how much is a severance package? Well, if you don't want to work here anymore, we'll give you $10,000. I said, how much?
How much?
Give me that $10,000.
And that'll get you on your way.
I took that $10,000 and I invested in my business. Now, I spent that $10,000 in 6 weeks traveling.
Yeah, that would happen.
Man, and doing drugs.
Yeah, that would happen.
But I learned a lot. Because I traveled on my own time and went wherever the fuck I wanted to go. I did what the hell I wanted to do. And that's when I realized that this is what I wanted to do.
Oh, where did you go? What did you learn?
Man, listen, so I started off in, I actually left and went to Dallas, because at this point I was in a band I just got through getting put in called The Ark, which is an amazing group of collective artists. It's like 10 of them. They're like the Wu-Tang of little. Every one of them independently can stand on their own and do their own shit. But
what did you do for this band?
Man, so really I didn't have a job. I was just there. Really? Okay, what I found out later was I was there to be their host, but I thought I wanted to rap. And they was like, yeah, your rap style is old. And because these are some young cats. They like 19, 20, I'm 35. And they was like, yeah, we don't want you to rap. Which kind of made me upset, because like that's what I really wanted to do. But it was cool because like just hosting their events was amazing. I did get on one song with Doc's Anatomy, which actually I got to get with him. I'm about to film for that later. What time is it? Because I got a video shoot.
I don't know. It's coming soon. I got you down.
Okay, bet. Oh, yeah, bet. Yeah, I got a video shoot with Live Maze, real talk. I just spent $300 just so I can shoot a video, because that's what the fuck I wanted to do.
Well, I mean, if you got it, you invested in yourself, and hopefully it goes far. It's all a gamble, man. That's what you're doing, is you're gambling on you. That's another
thing. I'm glad you said that. It's all a gamble. I love gambling, bro. I've been to gambling as a kid. Like, I love going to the casino. I love shooting dice. I love shooting dice in the hood. I just love gambling.
All right.
So why not gamble on yourself? Because if you hit, bro, you fucking hit. Like, It's crazy, because I've seen it. Like, I've seen the lows. I've been to the mountaintop, and boy, I've been depressed. Like, like you're flat out broke, like coked out. Like the next day, I don't even have $11 so I can buy a blunt and a cigar so I can figure out my next game plan. I've been there, and I'm blessed that now that I'm beyond that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad I did all that shit right here in Little Rock. Went through my drug problems, went through the problems with my celebrity rise and fall right here in Little Rock, all that shit, because like if you can make it in Little Rock, swear to God, you can, like, literally, and to prove it, like Evanescence, like there's so many amazing people that come out of Little Rock that don't claim Little Rock because Little Rock shitted on them so bad.
Well, wasn't she born in California and kind of lived here, Amy?
No, it don't matter.
She lived here.
She was influenced by Arkansas.
That's like Neo and Camden.
Camp, bro, man, and I understand why people leave. Like, cause like when I went to Dallas, and made $1,000 on the corner just fucking around bullshitting, and people's like, yo, dude, you're awesome. Where are you from? I'm like, Little Rock.
Well, you say on the corner doing what?
Man, we just got through doing a show, right, at Brain Trust. So I'm in Deep Ellum, Dallas, on acid. Yo, first show. Yo, I just left my job at Verizon Wireless. I got 10 grand in my pocket. I'm with a band and I'm performing, doing what the fuck I love, yo.
Yes.
Yo, just wrecked the show. We just killed it. Everybody scattered off to do everything because, like I said, it's 10 of us. Like, everybody got bitches. We all scattered out. I had my own hotel, like my own personal shit for me. Because they didn't even know I was coming. Like, I popped up last minute. Like they was like, dude, you're here. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. Let's do it.
After the show was over, like I was just fucking, I was high as shit, tripping balls in Deep Ellum, and it was fucking amazing because like everywhere had no cover charge, and it was like a Friday or a Saturday. It was party. It was lit as fuck. So I'm just like rapping on the corner, and like these people's like, yo, say another verse, yo, I give you $20. And I was like, yo, I also do comedy. And they was like, yo, $50, yo, and I'm just doing shit. The next thing I know, bro, I'm like, yo, I got $1,000, bro. And yo, I got $1,000 just being me.
Yes.
And then I went on Facebook and I was like, bro, fuck Arkansas. Why would I ever come back? Like, yo, I just made $1,000 being me. Then Arkansas was like, well, fuck you too. So this is the kicker. So I had to come back to Little Rock like 2 days.
Bridges.
I had to come back to Little Rock 2 days later because I was hosting a show for 88.3 All Access. It was, damn, what did they call that shit? Because it was dope. Because I ended up being on TV. I was on Fox 16. And
let me tell you, for those that are listening to Big Terrestrial Radio, 88.3 community radio,
bro,
man.
100 watts.
Yeah, I've been a part of it.
100 watts.
I did the Red Wolves games
right there off of Main Street, bro. It looks
it.
like a fucking house, yo. You walk upstairs, it's fucking lit as shit, bro.
Yeah.
And when you're on a big stick, like right next to Power 92, and it's a community. Yo, I am so community based.
Yeah.
Fuck Clear Channel Metroplex, fuck iHeartRadio, yo, fuck big corporations, fuck Walmart, because, yo, let me talk about this. How's Walmart a $1 billion corporation, right? Richest company in the world. The top 10 richest people in the world work for Walmart and they live in Arkansas. How are we number 49 when it comes to poverty? How are we the brokest state in the fucking United States when we have the richest and we got Tyson?
Yeah.
And where the fuck is that money going?
There's a lot of big companies in this state that people don't know about.
Come on, Northwest. If you go to Northwest Arkansas, that's a whole different market. I haven't even tapped into that market yet. They got a whole nother comedy scene.
Yeah. You've never been up there? I've never been up there.
Man, I went up there. I went to Fort Smith. This guy named Lucas. I think his name is Lucas.
Yeah.
Luke Pearson put me on this fucking show, one of the best shows I've ever been on, man, called Mortal Kombat Comedy, bro.
Yeah.
And it was 8 people. I was an alternate. I drove 7 hours. Like, I drove 4 hours to be an alternate, to get on stage for 7 minutes as an alternate. I didn't even fucking compete. I just wanted to get on stage because I was a young comic. So, yeah, that's the only time I ever performed out there, bro. And it was fucking lit, bro, at a place called Wishbone. Big ass stage. Yo, that's when I knew. I was like, yo, that's when I knew. I was like, yo, this is me, bro. This is me. Like, cause
what year is this? Cause I need a timeline on it.
Like 3 years ago. Like
3 years ago, you settled down.
It's funny. I hadn't even been I've been doing comedy now for 5 years. It don't seem like it's been that long, but it's been 5 years. It seems like I started yesterday.
Yeah.
And bro, I've already met the greatest in my field. I met Dick Gregory 3 weeks before he died. Dick Gregory ran for president in 1967 against Richard Nixon. One of the greatest comedic minds and activists of this time. And that man sat down and talked to me, shook my hand, and I didn't understand why he was holding my hand for so long. And there was this energy that was going through me. And what I know now is that he was transferring his energy into me to pass the baton because he knew he was getting ready to die.
Believe
and
it
he seen
or
something
not.
in me that he didn't see in the run these other bitch ass comics.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, I'm finna talk to you. I talked to him twice. That was crazy. I wasn't even supposed to be there, bro.
That's one of the comedy greats right there, man. And you took a little bit of his energy. Actually, you didn't take it. He gave it to you.
Man, transferred, bro. Like, because energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. And I'm just a vessel right here, just going through the universe. And this is amazing. Another amazing day.
Please.
A lot of people don't realize, like, this shit is lit. Like, shit comes together at certain times because we are of the universe. A lot of people know what's going on today? Supermoon.
Hit me with that supermoon.
Supermoon.
Expound.
Moon.
Yes.
It's going to be big as fuck. Very big on sun energy, very big. Like, the sun is light to this universe. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of scriptures and biblical shit, like from all religions, when they talk about the Son of God, they're talking about that sun. A lot of people don't even know that, bro. Like, because without that sun, we have nothing.
You know, that's just science, man.
And it's just science. And a lot of people don't realize that science and religion actually tie in together. And, like, you just got to break down the code. Like, that book is coded. Nobody's going to give you the fucking answers, man.
Yeah. Well, we're always trying to figure out who we are.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you, bro.
From.
I took acid like 2 weeks ago, and I thought I had the world figured out.
Well, that's just it, man.
I thought I had.
I got to learn that. I got to learn that from you, man. I got to live vicariously through others. My drug interactions have been very limited. Mm-hmm. You know, my mom did,
bro,
and I smelled it a lot.
Keep
growing
your
up.
drug interactions limited, bro. Really, because
but from what I'm hearing, it expounds your mind.
Man, I tell you, I ran into a lot of bad shit in that process too.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I've ran into some dope shit. I just know that weed and acid, that's it. Those are my two drugs. Cocaine is my number one nemesis. Never will fuck with that shit again.
What's the line?
Ecstasy.
What's the line? Cocaine is
it's a hell of a drug.
There you go.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Also, damn, why is people calling me when you see me on phone?
Man's taking a phone call in the middle of my podcast.
I'll be downtown, like right in town. All right, bet.
All right, Ronel Williams. I realize that we got you got business to attend to. That's money. That's cash in your pocket, especially in this trying time where we're all stuck indoors, and you're finding new ways to be creative. I'm glad we've had a first meeting.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I hope this is the first of many, man.
I'm glad we linked up, bro. Because I know you were like, bro, when are we going to do this interview? I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get with you, and it never happens. But like, I'm real big on timing. Everything happens for a reason. There's a time. Like, everything has a season. You know what I'm saying? Like, people come into each other's lives at the right time, at the right place, at the right moment to do right.
Well, give shout outs, give promotion. This is your free time to tell the people about all the people that are helping you out right now, if anybody, and what you're up to, man. What is this thing that you're doing in about 20 minutes now?
Man, bet. Okay, so I got a video shoot. I put out music too. So I finally I'm with Live Maze. I'm about to shoot a video with Live Maze. One of my songs I put out. I'd work with the Real Underground Radio. That's the only affiliation do I have to any organization or any company or anything that I feel like I owe anything to anybody. Shout out to Brett Eiler at the Joint Coffee House and Theater. He was the first guy to put me on stage outside of on the main stage. Shout out to Melissa Dillard from Verizon Wireless. Is the reason why I'm here now. She's the one that let me go ahead and do a stand-up comedy. Be a stand-up. That's how. Let me tell you this story real quick.
Please.
How I got into stand-up comedy. I was working at Verizon Wireless. They had a talent show, and I decided I'm going to do stand-up comedy. They had me headline 5 shows. I performed for 2,500 people.
But where?
At Verizon Wireless.
In the store.
At the I worked for the call center, the huge building, the
big building.
Arm.
Okay.
Yeah. So they had 5 different shows because like I think they had like 200-300 people in each show. Smashed them all. People thought I did comedy. I was like, bro, that was the first time I ever did that shit. They're like, dude, go to the loony bin. I was like, all right, cool. I'll think about it. End up getting divorced or end up getting separated.
Yeah.
So when my wife left me and took the kids away, instead of fucking getting depressed and wanting to kill myself, because I thought about suicide plenty of times, and that's another story. Man, I almost killed myself like so many times. Where am I at? Verizon.
Doing that first show. What made you feel like you can get up, man?
Yeah. So after I killed that shit, I decided to go to the Joint, man. I was at a Barry Manilow concert, bro, because I had tickets from Verizon Wireless, and I'm like, I like Barry Manilow. My mom listened to Barry Manilow.
Why wouldn't you?
So I went to the concert, and me being cheap, I was like, yo, I'm not paying $10 for a beer. I walked to Cregan's to get a beer, and right next door was the Joint. And they said, hey, we do stand-up tomorrow. I walked over there, talked to Brett. Dude said, come tomorrow, we're doing a competition. I said, bet. I showed up, I did great. I didn't win, but dude said, bro, come back, you're funny. That comic was born, bro.
Dude, I know you were a talker, and you were probably a talker before that. And all you got to do is get up on stage and be entertaining, and that's what you're doing, man. So, and the Joint, you got to tell me more about the Joint, because I've heard of the Joint. I need to get in there.
All right,
I need to figure that out.
Oh yeah, I can get you in there. There's no problem. I know the owners. So the owners of the Joint, there's 3 of them. It's called The Main Thing. It's like a husband and wife, and they got this other dude named Brett Eiler that hangs out with him. They do sketch comedy. They write their own shit. Used to write for Saturday Night Live in the 70s when that shit was super fucking funny.
Yes.
So then they went there. I think they was in Houston and they was doing their own thing. So they was like, yo, there's this place called North Little Rock. Little Rock. Argenta is growing. It's cool. Art district. Let's get out of Texas because Texas sucks. Arkansas is not that much greater, but Arkansas is a retirement state and we got a niche. So they built a comedy club there, which is there's only 2 comedy clubs in Arkansas, in Little Rock. In this area, you got the Looney Bin, which fucking sucks. I hate that place, and because it's dirty and it's like a D-list comedy club. You'll never see a Chappelle in there. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the Joint Coffee House and Theater, which I love that place because they do stand-up comedy, they do sketch comedy, they do what do you call that comedy that I like? Whose line is it anyway?
Like a talk show. Improv.
I
like that.
Love, and their shows are packed, bro. They built their own audience, and it's an amazing place to fucking tell jokes if you're smart.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like, Arkansas doesn't have very, very many educated people. I mean, it's just a true statement. Like, I mean, there's a lot of people that's not educated, even though there's tons that are. The majority of the population isn't. Therefore, when you tell jokes, that's why I don't like going to Looney Bin, because it's usually you get a lot of Republican redneck type of people there. Therefore, I mean, I can make them laugh. That's just not what I like to do. You know what I'm saying? I have like highbrow jokes that you kind of got to think about. You know what I'm saying? I don't like just doing ignorant shit. I do ignorant shit for the masses. You know what I'm saying? But like my real comedy, you got to be quick.
But you're spending time writing jokes, or is this all stuff coming off your head?
I write this shit, man. There's a lot of jokes that I write. There's a lot of stuff that I just do off the top. Sometimes I pop acid and just get on stage and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing.
What's your experience between the two? Which one's better?
I've had a very amazing show on acid, and I fucking bombed on acid. Normally, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
Normally,
it's good to be clear-headed.
Yeah, usually I'll smoke a little bit of weed just not to be nervous. I don't like to drink before I get on stage, because like a drunk comic to me is just terrible. Unless some people just function alcoholics, but like drinking is more of a social party type of deal. Yeah. I don't like. It's not a work thing. So pot. Yeah, pot.
Ronel Williams, I know you got places to be. I know we got to cut this a little bit short, but give the people an idea of where to find you and what you're going to be doing on the horizon once we break out of this quarantine.
Cool, man. So shit, I'm not waiting for the quarantine. Like, I've been dropping fucking content all forever. You can go on my Instagram, Ron Will Win. Actually, specifically go to my IGTV. IGTV is very powerful because you can do up to 10 minutes worth of content on Instagram. And you can still put up a 30-second clip on your feed. A lot of people don't realize the power of social media. That's why I will never have another job again, because I'm going to be a millionaire by December off of Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Ron Will Win pretty much is my handle on anything. If you go to whatever you're fucking on, if you just type in Ron Will Win, that's my Gmail. That's my Instagram. I think that's pretty sure that's my Twitter. Even though I'm not on there a lot. And like that's my TikTok, Triller. Ron Will Win, man. That's my Cash App. Most important, that's my Cash App.
That's his Cash App. Throw some ducats in there.
Throw some ducats in that hole, man.
No, and that's good branding. Ron Will Win. I know I put Keys Dan everywhere, and that helped me out.
You got to make your shit consistent. The reason why I say Ron Will Win, because anything like businesses market themselves for a reason. So there's power in the tongue. Ron is part of my name, Ronel. Will is part of my last name. And win, because that's what I'm fucking going to do in life. So if I say it and you say it, even though you're not even, knowingly saying it, it's like just Ron Will Win. Bro, you just put power in the universe, bro. If everybody's saying that I'm going to win, then I'm going to fucking win.
Absolutely, man.
Thanks,
no doubt about it.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate you, bro.
Dude, I appreciate you. You got to talk about your t-shirts real quick before we go.
Oh yeah, I have my own brand, man. Like I said, branding is everything. Like I wear a t-shirt called that says Arkansas is the most talented people in the world. The reason why I made that shirt is because every time I travel, people always ask me where I'm from. So instead of keep telling them I'm from Little Rock, because they don't believe me, because all they know is about is Bill Clinton and gangbanging. And they're like, oh, there's a smart black guy in there. I'm like, yeah, and we wear shoes. So
sometimes.
Sometimes. So I have a shirt that says Arkansas is the most talented people in the world. And it also has my Instagram on it. And man, I just wear it like a uniform, just like people go to Wendy's every day and wear the Wendy's uniform. I wear that shirt everywhere I go, for the most part, except today.
This is a very rare time that I'm not wearing and I'm not wearing a Radio What shirt. See? So very rare time.
Branding ourselves, man. It's mine. And I fucking have my own clothes. Why would I buy Calvin Klein when I have my own brand?
That is fantastic. That's an enterprising man right there. Is putting it, finding new ways to create. Yes. You put your now, are you able to monetize Instagram? I don't.
Yes, you are. But fuck doing that, bro. Like you monetize yourself. Like even though you can monetize Instagram,
right?
If you have a following, that's called a hot lead,
right?
They already follow you, they're already interested in you,
right?
Just sell them shit. Like a lot of people don't even people just buy shit from me now because it's me.
Yeah.
Because it's me. They don't need a t-shirt. they just like the slogan. It's cool, bro. I can sell anything right now. Like literally, it's like they will buy it just because it's me. Just like people want you to show up because you're Keys Dan, bro. Yeah. They want Keys Dan, bro. Fort Lauderdale, they want that energy, bro.
I started the podcast to help people, to promote people, but in the interim, I promote myself as well. My shows, whatever's coming up,
bro. That's marketing.
Yeah,
that's what corporations do. I am a business. I'm not a businessman. I am a businessman. So therefore, I operate like a business. That's why I was so glad that when you showed up at 2:00, even when I say 2, you were there at 2.
Yeah,
like not pulling up. Like we were set up at 2.
Yeah,
you were waiting on me. Like, and that's dope. And now it's dope because speaking of which, I gotta go because I'm about to
go.
Thank you, sir.
Ronel Williams, we're out. Thank you.
Well, there you have it, party people. Ronel Williams. Ron will win. Yes, that's where you find him. He has branded himself. Find him everywhere. Follow this man. And he's going to teach you some stuff. And you're going to hear his views on things. I'm sorry that the interview had to be cut a little bit short because the man's always making moves. I've been trying to nail him down for probably 6 months now, trying to get him on the program, because he is a real integral part of Little Rock, Arkansas. He's real interesting, and he's a promoter as well as a comedian, of course. I think that would be the first and foremost. And he's also a singer and a promoter and a producer of other things. And he's a very interesting young man. I look forward to speaking more with Ronel Williams and finding out more about him. But he's led an exciting, interesting life, and through that life comes creativity. And the man is good at talking. The man has got the gift of gab, definitely more than I do. He doesn't stutter quite as much as I do. So I look forward to following him more and having another conversation with him real soon. Ups to you, Ronel Williams, and your clothing line. He put out those clothes. Yeah, he makes a couple bucks on them, but the biggest thing you see on there is Arkansas has the most talented people in the world. So he's really, really pushing forward his great state of Arkansas. And I appreciate him for that. And I'm sure Arkansas appreciates him for that to some degree. But I know that there's more to his story. I know that we only had a short amount of time. And I did drive him down to Little Rock to go meet up with his video producer. So stay tuned for that. Follow him to find out more about that project. Yeah, as we go through this quarantining in the coronavirus era in May of 2020. All right, party people, that's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. If you'd like to tell your story, if you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call at 501-470-6386 or email info@radiowhat.com. That's it for me. It's Keys Dan, radiowhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.
If you like what you hear, follow What Makes You Famous social media. Use the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Follow on Facebook at What Makes You Famous. Follow on Instagram at What Makes You Famous. Follow on Twitter at Makes Famous. And follow on YouTube at Keys Dan. Leave What Makes You Famous podcast a review and subscribe. Listen to What Makes You Famous podcast on Podbean, iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and Spotify, and almost anywhere you find podcasts. Tell your story on my podcast, What Makes You Famous. Call 501-470-6386 and leave a message to set up a time. You can support What Makes You Famous using the PayPal link, paypal.me/KeysDan. Email info@radiowhat.com. What Makes You Famous podcast is a production of Keys Dan Enterprises Incorporated at keysdan.com. Thank you for listening.
Radio What? The music you want, with some words to live by.
You can get through anything if you stay put in today.
A public service message from radiowhat.com. The music you want.
Hey guys, this is Shelly G. She said, what? Well, you are going to have to listen to the countdown to hear what I say. And make sure to keep listening to Radio What for more information and trivia. She said, what?